Hello everyone, welcome back. So, as you can see by the title of this episode, I will be discussing a deck that I came across through Astral Tarot. Quite a few of you may know her in the tarot community. She goes by the name of Anna. She's in Amsterdam. And about a month or so ago, I came to her channel based on the title of the video of what she was talking about. She had the title of her episode, I think, discussion and reading of an inverted Thoth Tarot. And it's just like, an inverted Thoth Tarot. I don't know. I gotta see what that's about. So I watched the video and she introduced this deck that just was wonderful. And basically what it is it's the person who reproduced the greenie version of the Thoth Tarot did a inverted version of it. So the colors are all reversed. And I had the Thoth Tarot for a while. It was actually my third tarot deck as my practice was growing and going deeper. This is like over 25 years ago. And I started focusing on the Thoth, studying it, starting with the major arcana. And I got Lon Milo Duquette's book, Understanding Aleister Crowley's Thoth Tarot at that time. And so I was just moving into it, and then my career became more demanding, and I had to pull back from studying the Thoth and anything with the tarot. So I had to stop. And it wasn't until about 8 years ago, when I had relocated and I was going through my boxes, and I came across some of my tarot decks. I came across my Thoth Tarot. I don't think it was the greenie version that I had. So I was looking at the Thoth Tarot at that time, and because so much time had transpired, I no longer connected to that deck, the Thoth Tarot. I did a reading with it, and I let it sit on my living room table for a while, and I just could not connect with it. So I felt it was time for me to just close that chapter, and I rehomed that deck to someone who didn't have the Thoth Tarot. So I hadn't worked with the Thoth Tarot in probably 8 years, and then seeing Astral Tarot's video of this particular deck, which I'm going to be showing you here, just opened up a whole new perspective for me, and especially since I am delving into the esoterics, the deeper meanings of specific esoteric Kabbalah, Tree of Life inspired decks. So I'm just going to show you right now. I'm going to pull this back, and then I'll explain the cards that I have here. So this is by Alpha Lyr. Her name's also Anna. And this is her version of the Thoth Tarot, but the greenie version. And I got this through Make Playing Cards. I was a little nervous because I did order a deck during lockdown through Make Playing Cards, and the quality of the cardstock wasn't all that great. I still have the deck that I ordered, but it's pretty worn around the edges. So there are limited options when ordering the kind of deck that you like to have for this version. I believe there is a small version of this, like a mini version. There is a glossy version of this deck. If you buy the glossy version, it includes the box. I think it's a glossy version. I know the box is glossy, but I decided to go with this. This is the linen version, and it's 3.5 by 5, so I like it. It's big, especially with a deck that's inverted, because the coloring and the imagery is going to read differently. So some of the detail will be easier to see at a larger scale, at 3.5 to 5. So as you could see here, there's like a color wash with some of the borders. We got purple here. We got something that's more like a reddy violet color. We have like a bluey gray color here. These cards here that I have, these were the first 3 cards that I pulled after I consecrated the deck. The first card I got was the Devil. I'm going to move this up here closely. You could see here the linen version. It's nice. It's wonderful quality. It has a little bit of a weight. The thing with the linen, it has a little bit of a slide to it. So when you're shuffling, some of the cards will probably fall out. So just be mindful of that texture. But I like it because it's not going to glare or anything like that, or obscure any of the images. Anyhow, the Devil was the first card I got, and I thought that was pretty sassy of this inverted Thoth deck to introduce itself to me like that. And then here, the other 2 cards that I got the Hermit. So this is how our Hermit is looking, inverted. I mean, the colors are they're just more alive for me, and I feel that was part of the issue that I had with the Thoth Tarot, because when you look at the colors of the decks, there is some vibrancy, but not like this. Because I don't have the Thoth Tarot anymore, my original one. To me, I felt like there wasn't a strong energy force for me coming from those decks. Here it is. Here in this deck it is. The other card I got here, this is the 7 of Cups. We have debauch. No change in the keywords. We do still have the Decan symbols. We have Venus for Scorpio, really small right there on the bottom, which I think is pretty similar to most of the other Thoth Tarot decks. And so just looking at this right now, I can already tell that I'm going to read this in such a different manner than from the Thoth. One thing that came to mind when looking at this deck initially through Astral Tarot's channel is that I felt this is the way the Thoth should be read. Some Thoth deck enthusiasts will probably disagree with me, and that's fine, but seeing the Thoth inverted like this it's almost taking me like inside of what's actually happening at this moment. We see the scenes, we see the force of what's happening, but I feel like I'm actually being put inside of the actual action of what's taking place, and it's reading so strongly for me. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to make this long. Famous last words. I'll do my best. I'm just going to show a few cards. I don't want to show the entire deck because I want people, if they are interested in getting this deck, to just have some surprises along the way. It's through Make Playing Cards, as I mentioned. It's coming in from China, so there are the tariff fees that are involved. So this deck ended up being a little bit more on the pricier side, but it's something that it's a deck that I will work with. I have to get reacquainted with its energy again, and have it guide me to to where it's best suited for me. Another thing that's important too is the color scales. You won't be able to use the color scales like you would with the positive version of the Thoth Tarot. Also the backs, as you can see. Let's go here. Looks like we have in the back, Alpha Lyr created some of the symbology. We see the swords. This really isn't discs. I can't really tell what's happening here. I did try to reach out to Alpha Lyr, the creator, not the creator, but the person who reproduced this deck, and I never heard back. So I know there are a lot of deck creators that just want to create the decks and they don't want to be interviewed or want to talk about their creations. But this deck in particular really brought my curiosity. So hopefully she will reply at some point, but if not, I'm not going to force it. So what I have here, these are the majors, and from here on end, I'm going to make it a habit. I've been reading how the trumps, the name of the majors, were also known as the triumphs. And as I'm studying the deeper aspects of the tarot, the esoteric, so on and so forth, I really like that word, the triumphs, because there is a lot of force when it comes with the major arcanas. They are archetypes, they are our guides, they are part of this whole journey. So I'm going to make reference to the major arcana as the triumphs. Here's our emperor. Adjustment. And let me know in the comments how you feel when you look at these colors here. Is it more complicated? Is it something that could move you to work with a deck like this? So everything's pretty much the same. Okay, we have the symbol there for Aquarius. Okay, and also look at the borders. Okay, they're different colors, which is also exciting. So these are the lovers, inverted. Beyond, judgment. I'll try and move my thumb so you can see. I know, this is exciting. I like these colors. It's just something very different. And I'm curious if anyone is thinking about doing a recolorization of the Thoth Tarot, because now the Thoth Tarot is open to interpretation. You know, we have this inverted deck, and I know there is another person who has created an inverted version of the Thoth Tarot. The person's name is not coming to me, but I saw this and I just hands down, it just speaks to me. Here's our Hierophant. This is like an X-ray version, right? When we think about X-ray, we're going below the skin. We're going through the muscles. We're going through the tissue, the blood vessels. We're getting to the root of what an X-ray is, what it does. And this is how I feel about reading this deck, or reading with this deck. There's our lust. Okay. So, as you can see here, I just want to show quickly, we have different colors. Let's see here, we got the moon. Nope, these colors don't seem to correspond to water. Like here we have purple, the sun. Here we have, that's more of a reddy purple. Here we have a purple for Scorpio, a different shade of purple. The High Priestess, black. Let's go through very quickly. This deck has actually been sitting off to the side recently because I've been working with one of the newer decks I was telling you about. Look at the wands here. Okay, so this is our ace, so we have no number for the ace. There's our two of wands again. We have our Aries, Mars and Aries. I mean, this is, I get excited when I see this. It's just something different. Different way to read. So these are all our wands. And the coloring of the borders, how they make some of these other colors jump out. I'm going to go in here closely so you can see this. So Jupiter, Decan, Leo. So Mars and Leo. Mercury and Sagittarius, swiftness. Okay. So I have here wands, cups, swords, pentacles. I think this is a wonderful deck, and I hope no one takes insult when they see this deck and go and cry foul, because I think this is wonderfully done. I can understand Astral Lady's excitement when I'll put the link of the video of her going through this deck. These are our cups. Look at this amazing Queen of Cups. There's our Prince. Our Three of Cups. Here's my thumb again. Knight of Cups. Again, the court cards and the aces will not have the numbers, so they will be blank. Six of Cups. Look at this. Energy is completely different. It's a wonderful, wonderful job, I feel, that Alpha Lyr did with reproducing this Thoth greenie. Here's our swords. The ace. And you can see detail. Look at how our Three of Swords of Sorrow, how it changes. It's our Saturn and Libra placement. Four of Swords. It actually makes some of the cards that would come across aggressive or darker in the positive version of the Thoth Tarot become something, I don't know, different. It's in a different realm looking at these cards. Okay, and then let's see our our discs. Aces. Here's our 2. Almost looks similar to the positive version, the non-inverted version of the Thoth. Obviously the colors are different. I like this one. Mars and Capricorn. It's almost like you have a whole new deck here with the Thoth. It's a Thoth, but the coloring just changes and makes the whole aspect of this deck to read differently. The coloring of the borders here are brown. I'm trying to get less reflection so you can see. It's more of a chocolate brown. Depending on the lighting, it's going to look a little darker. The discs, I feel in the Thoth tend to be a little bit more abstract. So failure doesn't look so much like failure. So you can see the detail. Prudence, patience. This is the sun in Virgo. Nice, nice. Gain. I'll just do this last one here. So I will put the link where you can order this deck. Okay, and again, keep in mind it is going to be a little pricey because of the tariffs and the shipping. But if it's a deck that you would like to add into your collection, this would be, I think, a great addition. If it's something where you would like to look at the Thoth in a different view, with it being inverted, and as I mentioned earlier, I feel this deck, the Thoth Tarot, this reproduction of it, inverted, I feel is the way to read the Thoth. Some people will say, no, you're out of your mind, but hey, you know what? By looking at this version of the Thoth in a different way, it's going to, I feel, change your perspective of how you read with the Thoth when it's in its positive image state. This is wonderful. There is a lot to play from it. So let me know what you think. I know I just showed a few cards. Again, the creator of this deck, her name is Alpha Lyr, or Alpha Lyr, but I think it's Alpha Lyr. Her name is Anna. It's not the Anna that we know from Astral Tarot. And it is done through Make Playing Cards. And if you go through Make Playing Cards, again, I'm going to put the link so that you can go to the site. She has some other modified reproductions of the Thoth Greenie in its positive state. She has the RWS. What Alpha Lyr seems to be doing is she's just trying to reproduce these decks in a state that color-wise they're a little bit more vibrant, and the quality of the imagery is a little bit better. So go to the Make Playing Cards site and you can read a little bit about the decks that she has. And if you do decide to get this deck, let me know what you think. I will not do a reading just yet with this deck, but I will in the coming weeks. I could start warming up to it because, as I mentioned, I'm currently working with a new deck that I got. So I don't want to throw too much attention to so many decks at the same time. But just keep an eye out and let me know what you think about this deck. If you think it's good, if you think it's something that should never have been created, if it wows you, that's wonderful. So this is a very unique deck. Do not know how long it will be in print, but if you do enjoy it, I would say get your hands on it. All right, thanks so much for listening, and I look forward to sharing follow-up videos regarding this deck when it comes to reading with this deck, and also sharing insights on some recent decks that I am currently working with that are new. So I'm excited about that. All right, we'll see you all again virtually soon. If you have any questions, you know to reach me through my website. And everyone, have a wonderful week, and I will be in touch with you again.